Hey there everyone, this is Seb with a new introduction for the next Let's Play. Yes, we are finally starting a new Let's Play, it's awesome, for a retro game no less. And it is going to be on the NES, because yeah, it's a system I really loved. And those who have looked at the credits of the previous LP and saw the hint, you might have guessed what series it is about at least, because it was rather obvious, I think. But yeah, that is the series Tiny Toon Adventures. I was a huge fan back in the 90s and, you know, kind of still am. I can still appreciate it, and that's something that really is a testament to how well Warner Brothers knew how to make those cartoons. You can still go back and enjoy them now. That's pretty awesome. But yeah, I was a huge fan. I love that series, and it's such a great series. And there were games being made for it, so when I first heard about it, I saw some footage, I think on TV actually, some game show covered it, and I saw that and I want, like a 100 times towards my mother, and she was like, no, probably a bit more than 100 times, and serves me right, I mean, beggars can't be choosers. But yeah, I wanted that game so bad, and I never got it. Never got it until much later. Now, my parents were nice enough to eventually get me a Tiny Toon games, but that was 2 years later. And by that time, the sequel had come out already, Tiny Toons Adventures 2. I keep saying Tiny Toons, but it's actually Tiny Toon, isn't it? I don't know why that is. But yeah, the second game had already come out, so they gave me that instead. And even though it's a fine game on its own right, it's no platformer, and I really enjoyed seeing the platforming thing, so I was a bit disappointed with the second game at the time, although I still really enjoyed it as well. I always had this nagging feeling I want that first game, and I never got it, because by that time you couldn't really find it anymore, because it had been 2 years. But later down the line I did find it, and this is actually the game we are going to play first. Tiny Toon Adventures on the NES. It's an, well, I wanted to say amazing game, but it's not per se amazing. It is a fun platformer, however. I really like it, but it doesn't do anything too special. It's very basic platforming. It's made by Konami when they still were making some decent games and weren't batshit crazy. And yeah, I think it came out in 1991 in the US and in Japan, and in Europe, of course, we had to wait because those were the days. And it came out here in 1992, I think. And yeah, so that's what we're gonna play. I think the most noteworthy thing this game does is that you basically always play as Buster Bunny. Though you can pick one character sidekick to go with you through each level, and with the right power-up you can switch around. And they all have different abilities, of course, but otherwise it's very standard platforming romp. Kinda gives this Super Mario Bros. 3 vibe from the graphics, which are rather vibrant and nice, but they have this Super Mario Bros. 3 look to them, which is not a bad thing. But it doesn't play like Super Mario Bros. 3, because Super Mario Bros. 3 is its own beast and quite different, honestly. A lot of people call this a rip-off, but I don't see it as such. Even though there's not much originality in this game, but you know, you don't have to necessarily have an original game to still be fun. And that's most important, and this game is still fun, and we're gonna explore that. The game isn't too long. I will probably do 1 world per video. It has 6 worlds. Maybe I'll combine the last 2 worlds into 1 video, because they are rather short in comparison. But still, videos will be kind of short unless I die a lot. The game isn't too hard either when it comes to actual challenge. What makes the game hard is that you basically have a one-hit is death mechanic in play. Although there is a power-up that can extend that with one hit, but yeah, it's very easy to mess up and just die and die and die when you mistime something, and it can be a bit annoying, but I'm sure we'll survive. I have played through the game before, but it's been a while, so I'm sure I can extend the video somewhat by dying a couple of times. Oh, don't you worry. But yeah, we'll see how that goes, and I'm very much looking forward to playing this with you guys, and I hope you will be joining me as well on this small adventure. And later down the line I will probably check out some other Tiny Toon games, because I've got more of them, like the second one and some other games as well, and you know, some are good, some are not so good. But for now, Tiny Toon Adventure on the NES. Cool game? Check it out. In 2 days, we will have the first part. Hope you join me then. Until then, take care, and bye bye for now. Thank you very much for watching.